Good evening from yammybtv. Sending loads of love to you as usual. Hoping your day's been okay and it went the best it possibly can. But no, this topic here, I want you to, is very interesting. Some of you that haven't been to prison or you've got, loved ones from some other dimension that are in prison or they know somebody that's in prison, like your next door neighbor has got someone in prison, but it's not you. There's always different sides to all audiences. But the great thing about Uncle Yammy TV, to be soon, very soon, is that we highlight the problems, especially the young ones going through stuff in there. And one of those, even though I'm going to mention the cat A's, it's not for the first time this kind of stuff goes on, but bullying in some capacity. With the boxing gloves, you got youngsters now that will get you, instead of being you're in debt for whatever you're in, they'll say to you, all right, the two ones that are in the most debt, to clear the debt, we'll watch you fight and that kind of stuff. I'm putting it up online and everybody's laughing because they're on Spice and all blood dripping down everywhere. At the time, I didn't find it funny at all. And it's not funny, honestly, because that could be one of your sons or nephews or somebody else of someone, and you can see the state of them in there, where they're supposed to be getting help and rehabilitated and then get resettled so that they go outside and are not to be committing crime again, which we're going to highlight on Yammy BTV. It's a very serious subject. I mean, in the Cat A's, this kind of behaviour is not, it's familiar, but not on the scale now with the youngsters in prison. It wasn't like that in the Cat A's. I mean, you used to get the odd, the big man will be there, he'll be choosing fights, people can let off their steam and you get the gloves on and you have a round. One of the Cat A's, don't happen in a lot of Cat A's, and then the loser gets hit them with a frozen chicken, and it looks funny at the time, but them chickens are really hard. And you got big grown men getting hit with them afterwards and everybody laughing because they lost their fights. You get the dark humour of it all. And it is, at the time, something it's fun, especially if it's someone you don't like or you don't get on with. And he's somehow getting belittled by way of a fight or something, because we know that the fighting thing is part of the makeup in there. That if you could have a better row than some people, then you're sitting at the top of the tree. But the youngsters, what I witnessed with my own eyes, like different types of spice, and then they're falling all over the floor with blood coming out their nose, and they're putting it online. Think about that. And you've got your boys in there, or your family, or your dad, and he's been dealt with in such a manner. The youngsters, again, credit to them, they get to fight. Same old, same old. The biggest gang member on the wing that time, who's probably 3-4 years older with more muscle, a bit more brain, and they run to him, all right, you fight. But really what he's doing is letting you all fight. There's some good ones amongst you who can have a row. He wants to know who's going to be dangerous for him. So he'll try and belittle you that way and try and get you on side that he's the big one that can beat up everybody. You fight him and he rocks him a bit, and then you say, oh yeah, but that's even kind of, you're judge and jury to all this. So how do you not feel about yourself as well? But the worstest things I've ever seen in life was that, as much as they'll fight each other, give credit due, they don't duck anybody. Some of these youngsters that I saw, sorry Trace, can't talk to you at the minute, darling. Again, I'm going to give you another conversation again in a minute. But, the little end of the scale, the smaller end of the scale, the addicts, you're supposed to be getting help. They're asking parents or their mums for money, or their friends, can you put 25 and 50 and then go and buy that stuff and then get videoed with it, but you played a part in it, for them to get like that. Boy, someone's got to take the blame for it all. We got to try and limit it, but unless you haven't got the knowledge, of course, and you just want to pay it for his safety, which is another side of the coin as well, because you don't want them getting hurt. But either way, it doesn't work out anyway, because it's very difficult to be down there and be looked down on by everybody, where you could be videoed and rolling on the floor and having punch-up fights where you're swinging your hand and you can't even hit the target because you're out your box, and they're going to put that up online and everybody's going to have a good laugh. But to me, I don't find it funny at all. Even in the Cat A's, with the chicken, and you get some serious beatings with it. Some grown men, out here. You got some of those youngsters coming out saying, yeah, they were this and that inside there. They're not telling you that they were the victims. No one likes to be remembered for that. But I'll tell you one thing, if it was my son or somebody up there on that video who was looking the way they did through addictions and their own difficulties, then I'd be seriously worried and asking myself questions about the system. How could it be that you could get 20 men in a recess, everybody chanting like you're in a gladiator arena? Come on, man, let's be serious about all this. It wasn't nice at all. And the last bits, you know, from it's always been that way, I suppose. Some would say in the old days they used to get in the arena and it was always, but not. I don't think it was belittling the smallest kind of guys. I think in the gladiator arena, you know, you'd get someone that can half have a fight and not being you know, made dysfunctional by the state of their mind, and getting secret laughs about that, where they see each other outside now and he says, oh, he was one of them. Yeah, you know, you get labeled with it and you feel like a victim, because in reality you are. From you have to get in that state, from people who are going to be doing that kind of stuff to you, then you have to hold your hands up and say that you're in the wrong game, and you know, you need more support, more, take a hard long look at yourself. Very dangerous grounds to be in these days, to be going into those prisons. Trust me. At least the Cat A's, it wasn't, with the older lot, they wouldn't be, the belittling wouldn't be that, with watching blood and people crawling around and all that. I think some of the older generation will find it quite sad that such things could be going on, because they had them little bit of morals and scruples with certain things, even though we was all bad, you know, to be getting excitement and laughs out of that, because, you know, it's the same lot. You were the one, you're sitting up there, it never happens to you. That's why it's so difficult for them to face defeat when it comes. I'll be up shortly. There's a short one about that in there. I wonder what many of you think too.